Hey guys, Kevin here and welcome to another review. So today I'll be reviewing the SuperBox S5 Max. So let's see if this is better than the S4 Pro. So besides the upgraded RAM and storage, is this one worth it? Let's find out. So let's first see what's inside the box of the S5 Max. Okay, so in the box, this is SuperBox. Remote, AC adapter, HDMI plug, of course no batteries. None of these boxes come with batteries for some reason. And user guide. Okay, and the plug is your standard 2 amp plug. USB is your standard USB plug. And remote's been about the same for the last few generations of SuperBox. So you do have the voice search and your normal remotes. You can set these for colored buttons, otherwise pretty standard. And the box, they've gone with kind of a B-Link GT King Pro. Metal on the bottom with some ventilation. You got your clock on the front. SD card slot, USB 3, USB 2, restore button. There's your AC plug, so your power, IR, AV ports, and then HDMI, Ethernet, and digital. So pretty standard. So a little more premium of a look, but definitely borrowed from the GT King. That was a pretty original color for them and looks like they've kind of borrowed that. Not a bad thing. Now let's check out when the box is actually booting up. Okay, so here's the initial boot up screen. So the SuperBox logo, and just food for thought. I still have my S1 Pro that is still working. That's got to be 3 years now that it's been going. So if anyone asks how long do these boxes last, I'd say that one's definitely worth its money. And I've never had one fail, so that's pretty awesome. So here we have your disclaimer notice, and I should put some batteries inside this remote. Okay, so this is basically on every SuperBox, so disclaimer notice, just kind of funny that it's basically telling you it's an empty box. It's the user's responsibility to keep in mind correct copyright agreements, burden of view falls if you break those copyright agreements, etc., etc. So you have to agree this to basically go ahead, so we'll click on agree. Then you just set up to your Wi-Fi, or ideally if you can, plug in an Ethernet. That's going to be your most stable connection, but where I am, that's my only option is Ethernet. Okay, when you're done with your password, you just click done. Then you just have to go to connect. So it's going to test your connection. Okay, and then once it's connected, you can just go to next. Now you just set your screen. So up and down makes it bigger and smaller. Looks good to me, and then finish. And now here's your main screen that looks the same as every other SuperBox, so very general. It does have Android 12, so that's a welcome addition. And here's the funny thing, when you get to this screen, the remote still is line of sight, and it doesn't actually pair it until you press the voice control button, so that blue button right in the middle. Now suddenly this comes up, so that doesn't show you in the user manual how to do this or the user guide. So now you can press your OK and back button for 8 seconds until the LED flash to enter the pairing state. So I'm just going to press OK and back button. Then on the remote, it's going to go from a solid light to a flashing light. So just like that. Then you can release. Now it's going to say search completed. Press the OK key. Pairing. Connected. So now you don't need line of sight. I can go like this and move around, which is great. Line of sight, not ideal in 2023. So now you can see there's nothing really on the box. So if we go to apps, so very, very basic. You do have the Play Store, nothing else really of value. Okay, so now to get the apps that you need, you have to go to their App Store, which is here, just beside it. So this one here. Now do you want to download and install it? So yes. Okay, now we have their App Store, which is going to have the apps that we need. So now we go in there. So again, a disclaimer notice. So you have to wait that 10 seconds. Now we can enter. You can read that if you like. Pretty standard for SuperBox to have that. And here's the apps that you're going to want. So all the blue apps, and then the playback and the backup. So we're going to install those. All you do is click OK on them. Takes a few seconds. Then it'll have a green check mark once it's done. So that one's done. Now we can go to the other blue one. Be careful with my wording due to this platform. Done. 2 more to go. So the playback gives you 20 plus channels that you can play back. So if you missed something yesterday, you can go back and watch it again, but only about 20 plus channels. And the VOD is of course your movies, etc. TV shows. Your TV is TV, so live. And your backup is if, let's say, one channel is down that you're wanting to look at using the blue TV, you can go to the backup TV and try the channel there. And essentially you have two different servers. So this is kind of a newer thing that the boxes have come out with in the past probably year or so. Okay, so once we have those 4 apps, we can go back. And you can simply add them here if you like. You can use this, doesn't really matter. So this will give you a shortcut. So let's say you put this one here, back button, this one here, back button, okay, okay, back button, and okay. Okay, so now we have them right there. So now I can't show you the content, but that's as easy as it is to set up the apps. So these are the ones that won't have any monthly fee. You just pay the fee in the box, and these apps will come included for it for the lifetime of the box, which hopefully will last you at least a few years. Then I think your money is well worth it. Like I said, I've been using my S1 Pro for the past few years. I say it doesn't owe me anything. So far working pretty good. I use it for still major sporting events. Still works fine for that. Then the voice search now will work since we have Bluetooth. Open playback. So you can use it simply for opening apps. You can search for things. So it's a nice welcome addition to these boxes just to have that option of having the voice search or voice function. This one they say is enhanced for this version. So this Max box has a different version than the previous boxes of the Super boxes. So now let's also check the specs of the box. Okay, and here I'm going to look at the specs using ADAS64. So this is the trial version of the app. So here you can see model is SuperBox S5 Max, running Google. Your RAM is 4 gigs. There's your available memory. CPU is an all-winner H313, H616. So that's running at 1.5 gigahertz. I personally like the Amlogic, but for streaming, all-winner is just fine. There you can see running Android 12. It is rooted. There you can see the temperatures just running normal right now, so about 55 Celsius, so very good. And here you have some of the codecs that it supports, so MP4, and here's some of the other ones. So nothing too exciting. Okay, and that's basically it for the specs. So now a little more about this box. So again, you just purchased the box. There's no monthly subscription for anything. And SuperBox does have 24/7 support, which is great. And you can use that right in the box here. So you can just scan the code. So over 1,300 live channels. I'll put a link in the description for the channel list. So at least you can see what it has. Mostly geared towards North American. So you can take a look at that. VOD is over 15,000, updated every day. Playback is my mistake, 85 live TV channels. I don't really use the feature, but I know some people do. So 85 channels, up to 7 days. And again, the backup live TV app will give you more of a buffer-free experience due to having 2 servers. So that's always nice with these boxes. Again, the 4 gigs of RAM is an upgrade for this box, as well as 64 gigs of storage and gigabit Ethernet. You also have Wi-Fi 6, upgraded voice command system, and you got the metal enclosure on the box. So quite a nice upgrade. I would say it's one of the bigger ones in the past few years at least. Is this worth upgrading? If you have a previous SuperBox, I don't think so, unless you're having any issues with servers, buffering, etc. And is this the right box for you? Depends if you want to cut the cable. I basically have had internet just only, so no cable, for the past number of years. So I just use basically these boxes, some free apps, but the live apps are harder to find now, and also they seem to be getting taken down quite frequently. So it's harder to find than it used to be to find good, reliable, free channels. There's still some out there, but definitely harder to find. And this box basically allows you to save the hassle. It's easier for people. Let's say if you're a bit tech challenged, this one's much easier to use than finding or scraping for apps and looking for something that can give you free support or free access to these channels. This one just opens the doors a bit easier. I think they're nice options. Is it right for you? You know, the initial price is expensive, but if you are cutting the cable and you're using this for X amount of months, X amount of years, it definitely does pay for itself. But that's always the gray area with the boxes. How long is it going to last? But luckily they do have good support. They've been around for a long time. Do they have the most channels of any box out there? No. Are they the most reliable that I've seen? Probably not, but they're very good. So I think they are definitely a top contender. Stay tuned for my next review, and I'll have another box that you might be interested in. So thanks for watching, guys. If you have any questions, throw them into comments. But otherwise, I'll have links in the description. Also some coupon codes you can use for $50 off. There'll be a limited amount of those, and some $30 coupons as well. Then also links from SuperBox themselves and also Amazon if you're interested in purchasing the box. But any questions, direct them down below. Otherwise, we'll see you in the next video. Thanks for watching.